यो नमः क्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् आर्ताय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणे स्वयं व्यासेन कृतितं पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बात्पामनुसन्दधां भगवद्गीते विद्वेषिणी नारायणपरो व्यक्तादण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्तु मे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च द्विमेदिनी अवतीर्णश्चकारट्यां केदारेऽन्तर्हितश्च यः चतुष्पीठप्रतिष्ठाता जगताच्चङ्गरो गुरुः शङ्खारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्गीकरोतु बोध्य किङ्करीयस्य सामाय शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये. So last time we looked at Arjuna starting to explain the evil effects of war, right? So he was trying to explain why he should not engage in the war, and we're looking at Shloka 38 and 39. So he starts by saying, Yadyapyete na pashyanti lopapahachate hatachetasah kulakshayakritam dosham mitradrohe cha patakam katham na jnaya अस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुं कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यति Janardana. So Janardana, all these people whose hearts have become perverted by greed do not see the evil arising from destroying the family and sin in hostility towards friends. Yet, how can we, who clearly can see all these evils that's coming from destroying this family and remain unaware of the need for abstaining from this sin? So he says why we should engage in this kind of things. So again, we were looking at one might say that Bhishma, Drona and others, Kripa and others, they are learned in Vedas and Shastras and everything. Then even then, their motive for this is evil, and because of that, we should not consider that whatever their actions have Vedas as the basis, right? So, and we look at Jaimini Sutra as a example where it said, since the motive is clear here, their Śāstra, it is not it should be considered as basis for the Vedic basis. It should not be considered that their actions has a Vedic basis. That's why Yadyapi, although ete, these people na pashyanti, do not see, these people do not see, ete na pashyanti, these people do not see, even then, katam, how na jnayam asmabhi, can we remain unaware? Although these people do not see, even then, how can we remain unaware? This is what he says in the second part of this verse, shloka. So again, at this time, one could ask that, is it not that although these have proceeded out of greed, still you as a Kshatriya should be doing this, right? So one could argue saying, one could say that as a Kshatriya, when challenged, should not refrain from either from gambling with dice or in a battle, right? So, Yudyapyete lobhat pravrittas tadhapi ahuto na nivarteta dyutadapi ranadapi iti vichitam kshatriyasya. So, ahuto na nivartete dyutadapi ranadapi. Okay, so once challenged, so dyuta, that means dice game, gambling, or rana, so that means battle. So Kshatriya should not abstain from those things when challenged, right? So that's what said in Mahabharata and Shanti Parva, and also in other places, Shastras, it is said that. And also, Kshatriya's earning is based on what he wins in the battle, right? Kshatriyasya yuddham dharmo yuddhyarchidam. So whatever he wins in the battle, that's what he's as. So that's why battle is considered as merit is for Kshatriya. And whatever is won through the battle is right is wealth. And since you have been challenged by Duryodhana, therefore, is it not proper for you to engage in the battle? One might ask that question, right? So is it not for you to right is for you to engage in such a battle when you have been challenged? It is not that you on your own went for this battle, you've been challenged. And if you win something in this battle, wealth or kingdom or whatever it is, that is the right is wealth. That's the right thing for you. So anticipating this, Arjuna answers in the second part of the shloka where he says, Asmat papam, from this sin in the form of a battle resulting from killing of friends and relatives, right? So he says that the idea is the knowledge of something being conducive to what is beneficial is indeed what urges one to action, right? So if you know that the outcome of an action is going to be good, then only you will take that action. And the beneficial is that what which does not have any harmful consequences, right? So if the action results in a harmful consequence, if you know that, you would not engage in that. Otherwise, the sacrifices like Shena sacrifices, things like that, even though they are prescribed in the Shastras, they would have been become righteousness things. They are would have become dharmic things, right? So that's why it is said that in the Shastras, again, Shvetavarakal Upanishad says that tata choktam paladhopi cha yatkarma nanarthe na anubadhyate kevala priti hetutvad tad dharma. So the action that is said to be righteousness, which leads only to happiness, and which is even in its consequence is not attended with evil, right? So this is the Upanishad statement. So the action which is righteousness, which leads to happiness, and in consequence does not attend with evil, right? So it does not lead to any evil. Even though it's happiness, it may bring happiness to me. If it leads to evil for some other people, that's not a good action, right? That's not dharmic action. That's why Arjuna is saying here, even though it is sanctioned in scripture, saying that this is my duty as a Kshatriya, this is my duty, even though it is sanctioned in the scriptures, it is not proper for us to engage in this battle, as it is in the case of Shena sacrifices, right? So Shena sacrifices is something like a black magic ritual in Vedas meant to kill other people, right? So again, according to many Mimamsa and other schools of philosophy who say that this is adharma because it causes violence, it is forbidden. We've seen some examples already in Mahabharata on this type of sacrifices, right? Say, for example, in Vanaparva, we came across King Somaka sacrificing his own son called Jantu, right? Because he wanted more than one child. So he sacrificed his son and he got multiple sons result of that. But we know what happened to Somaka after that and the priest who officiated what happened to them, right? So we know that from Vanaparva. So that's again, even though it is sanctioned, it is part of a Vedic ritual, it is not good because it causes harm. Similarly, we learned in Adi Parva as well, right? So where Drupada was trying to kill Drona and he wanted a priest to officiate a sacrifice through which he would get a son and that son would kill Drona, right? So, but all the Brahmanas said, we can't do this because your objective is to kill somebody. especially a Brahmana. So we can't help you. And then finally he went to Yaja, and Yaja said his brother Upayaja will help him. So, and then Upayaja conducted that sacrifice, and then through that he got Drishtadyumna, who's, we learned that is killed Drona, right? So the consequence is wrong, even though it is a type of a sacrifice which is a part of Vedic ritual, it is not considered as a dharma. So Arjuna here saying that those type of sacrifices are not good. Okay, so but then on the other hand, you have sacrifice like Jyotishtama, which again involves violence. That means animal sacrifice or other things, but it is for the personal desire fulfillment. The objective of that sacrifice is not to kill somebody, okay, or to harm, but it is for the personal desire fulfillment. So that's why those sacrifices are considered as dharmic. So there are two types of sacrifice, right? So it is, what is the outcome of this, like whatever the action one does, what is the outcome of that? That determines whether the action is dharmic or not. Okay, so not everything that's sanctioned in the scriptures said in the Vedas can become dharmic. So Arjuna is hinting here, saying that, quoting that Shvetavara Upanishad, saying that kevala priti hetutvat tad dharma. So only happiness and consequences which is not attended with evil, those are the things that are dharma. Okay, they are the ones following of the righteousness then. And again, and thus, since the victory extras are not to be sought after, okay, on account of their being harmful, we should not exert for them. So Arjuna is saying that it is not something we should be looking for, and it creates harm, and that's why we should not win. And in order to confirm this, what he does is the elaborating the harmfulness on account of the evil of this action, which was about to take. That is this battle he is about to take. The results of that, he says that because of that are the actions, what those actions are. He explains that in the next shloka, in the 40th shloka, he explains that the evils of that. So what happens? Kulakshiye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaham dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo abhivatyata. Okay. So from ruin of the family are totally destroyed, from the ruin of family or from the ruin of the family are totally destroyed, and traditional rights, duties of the family. When the rights and duties are destroyed, adharma overpowers, vice overpowers the entire family also. So that's the simple translation meaning of this shloka. So if we go word by word, kulakshaye. So again, destruction of kula. So kula is, last time we said it's a family or a community. So or a race, gotra, all these things termed as kula. So kulakshaya, kshaya is ruin, destruction. So kulakshaya is destruction or ruin of the family. Sanatanaha, sorry, pranashyanti or vanquished. Okay, pranashyanti means vanquished. Kuladharma means family traditions, community traditions, or their rituals or customs, whatever. Sanatana, eternal. Dharme means religion or dharma. Nashte is destroyed. Kulam means family. Krishnam means the whole. Adharma means irreligion or vice. And abhivavati means overcome. And uta means indeed. So that's the word by word meaning. So if you just look at this a little bit more detail, kulakshaye, from that destruction of the family, the traditional, that is sanatana, rights and duties of that family, that is the kula dharma. So from destruction of the family, the traditional rights and the duties belonging to that family or community are totally destroyed, or that means pranashyanti, they all totally destroyed, owing to absence of their performers. right? So if the people are killed, then they observe those who are about to perform those rights and duties, they are not there. That's why they are destroyed. And what happens when rights and duties are destroyed? That is dharma nashte. When that dharma nashta happens, as a result of the elimination of those persons who can perform the sacrifices or agnihotra or anything like that, even sandhyavana or whatever they used to do, what happens? Adharma, vice or irreligion, abhivavati, overpowers. It spreads, bringing under its sway. Okay, Krishnam, the entire Kulam Mutha family also. So it brings entire family under its control. It overpowers the entire family, consisting of children, surviving children, and others. So once that Kula is destroyed, that means the elders are destroyed or died and things like that through this battle, entire remaining surviving children and family, they will be overpowered by adharma. So that's what is done. Again, Uta here is used in the sense of also. Okay, that means it's connected with Krishna. That is the entire. Okay, so it's connected with its entire. Kula is also connected here. So the entire thing is destroyed, becomes overpowered by adharma. Again, that's what he means by this shloka. So again, Arjuna continues his explanation in next shloka, the 41st shloka, where he explains that adharma bhavavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyah strishu dushtasu vashneya jayate varna sankarha. O Krishna, when adharma vice predominates, the women of the family become corrupt. Okay, O descendant of Vrishnis, when women become corrupted, it results in intermingling of varnas. So, or intermingle of cats, varnas, whatever, varna sankara. Okay, so varna, it results in that. So that's the meaning. Now, if you look at word by word, adharma means irreligion or vice. Abhibhavat, preponderance, that means majority or superiority or dominance. Krishna is Krishna, addressing Krishna. Pradushyanti, become immoral. Kulastriya, woman of the family. Okay, so strishu, that means of women. Dushtas means immorality. Vashneya is addressing Krishna again, from Vrishni's race. Jayate, or born. Varna Sankara means unwanted progeny or children. So that's the meaning of the word by word. So if you look at a little bit in detail, the idea here is Kulastriya, that is the woman of the family, also become corrupt. Okay, so those women become corrupt. They are led by the logic that when husbands themselves have destroyed the family by transgressing the righteousness, by transgressing this dharmic view, what wrong will happen if adultery is committed by us? Okay, so Kulastriya, the families, women of the family, start thinking that my husband did not follow dharma. Why should I? Okay, so they engage in adultery, and that results in Varna Sankara. Or the alternative is purely by association with their husbands who are following adharma. Okay, Strees, women become corrupt. Okay, so this again, Madhusudana Saraswati, Sri Madhusudana Saraswati in his Bhashya, he quotes Yajnavalkya Smriti here. He says, Dushtatvam Ashuddhehe Sampritikshohi Mahapataka Dushita. So one should certainly wait for or a person who is guilty of heinous sins until he becomes purified through expiation or whatever means. So that means one should not engage, one should not have contact with a person guilty of heinous sins. So here, the husbands themselves have become corrupt by ruining their family, by engaging in this battle and things like that. When the husbands are ruined like that, the women purely because of their relationship with those husbands, their husbands also become corrupt. So Vashneya is again addressing Krishna as one from Vrishni's race, Pradishyanti, commit offense, deteriorate, fall off, become faithless, and things like that. So Arjuna here again became concerned and starts comprehending what would happen to the society in the absence of guidance and protection of the elders. The women of the family, they may get misled. Therefore, Arjuna says that Krishna, if the women of the family turn towards immorality, commit adultery, they would bear illegitimate children. That would only destroy the peace and happiness of the future generations. But also, not only that, but also it deprive the ancestors of their Vedic rights, and family traditions will be abandoned and all those things. So it is for the welfare of the society's sake, family's sake, community's sake, we should stop this war. So that's what Arjuna is trying to say here. So Varna Sankara is means uh, illegitimate children or cross word, so across the inter-varna marriage or children, okay, born of inter Kshatriya man to Brahmana wife or Shudra or something like that. So he says that. So the next again, Arjuna continues explaining these. What happens if Varna Sankara happens? If those type of children are born, what happens? He explains that Sankaro Naraka Eva Kulagnanam Kulasya Patanti Pitaro Hesham Lupta Pindotaka Kriyaha. So after and the intermingling of those family leads to ruiners of the family certainly into hell, and the forefathers of that such a family will fall down into hell because they are deprived of offering of the pinda, water and all those things, tarpana, pinda, all these things, they are deprived of those things. So that's the meaning. If we look at a little bit more on the word by word meaning, so Sankaraha means again these unwanted children, Narakaya means hellish or hell, Eva means indeed, Kulagnanam for those who destroy the family. Okay, for those who destroy the Kula. Kulasya of the family, Cha means also, Patanti fall, Pitaraha means ancestors, forefathers, He means certainly, verily, Esham means there, Lupta means deprived of, Pindodaka Kriya. Pinda is the rice ball. Okay, so when Shraddha is performed, a ball of rice is prepared, right? So that's the Pinda. Udaka is water, Kriya is offering of those things. So performance of these Shraddha and things will stop. So that's the word by word meaning. So again, if you look at this continuation from the previous shloka, and so if you look at cha means and, so that's joining with the previous shloka where he said it results in Varna Sankara, and Sankaraha, that intermingling Kulasya in the family leads to Kulagnanam, the ruiners of the family, the destroyers of the family, Naraka Eva, certainly into hell. They will result into hell only. And not only the destroyers of the family fall into hell, but also the forefather, the ancestors also. That's why he says, Patanti, they fall down to hell. So again here, the word he is used, that means certainly is used in the sense that either, it is used the sense as either, okay? That means they also fall because again of Lupta Pindodaka Kriya. That means they are deprived, Lupta is deprived of Pindodaka Kriya. So they are deprived of that things owing to because the want of sons and others who can undertake such rights are not of good birth, right? So again, to perform the Shraddha, you need to have that rightful birth. And if your birth itself is through Varna Sankara as illegitimate, then intermingling, then it's the problem. And that's why the connection is the Pitaraha, the forefather, the ancestors of those destroyers of the ruiners of the family, Kulagnanam, falls down, they fall down, they patanti, they fall down into hell. They will also fall into hell. So this is what Arjuna explains in this shloka, saying that not just it results in this intermingling of varnas and the children birth, that means it will also destroy the ancestors, deprive the ancestors of Shraddha. So again, if we look at the then, so if again he again continues explaining the same thing in the next shloka, 43rd shloka, where he says, Doshai retaihi kulagnanam varna sankarakarakaihi utsadyante jati dharmaha kuladharmascha shashvataha. So because of misdeeds of these misdeeds of those ruiners of the family, which causes intermingling of this varna sankara, the traditional rights, duties of those Kula Dharma, of those families and others, all those things destroyed. Okay, those Jati Dharma, those Kula Dharma, all those things are destroyed. So Doshai means through the evil deeds, Etaha of Etai means these Kulagnanam means they destroyed those who destroy the family. Varna Sankara, unwanted progeny. Karakaihi, causing. Utsadyante, or ruined. Jati Dharma means social and family welfare activities or lineage relative activities, or in modern day, could so caste related their customs and things. Kula Dharma means family traditions or community traditions, those things. Cha means end. Shashvataha, eternal. Okay, so those are destroyed. So etai doshe, due to these misdeeds, jati dharma, the rights of duties, like kshatriya duties and other jati duties, who are that are those that are consequent of being a kshatriya, etc. Those duties assigned to them, those duties that they used to perform, and kula dharma, the rights and duties of the family, those that particularly belong to them, utsadyante, are uprooted or destroyed. So he says that, so this is what going to happen. If we continue in this, this is what going to happen in this battle. So first, it results in Varna Sankara. That means intermingling of castes and the Varnas, and then those children will deprive not just their family from heaven, they also deprive the ancestors also from, the ancestors also will fall to heaven, hell. And the Kula Dharma, Jati Dharma, all this will also get destroyed forever. Eternally, they will become destroyed by this. So, listening to this again, Arjuna again continues in the next shloka. He explains further what happens, right? Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake netam vaso bhavati anushrama. So, O Janardana, we have heard that living in the hell becomes inevitable for those person whose family duties gets destroyed. Right? Utsanna means destroyed. Kuladharmanam, whose families and traditions, Kuladharma. Manushyadam, of such means of such human beings. Janardana is addressing Krishna. Narake means in hell. Aniyata means indefinite. Vasa means dwelling in that, in Naraka. Bhavati means is, happens, and iti means thus. Anushrama means I have heard from the learned. So consequently, owing to absence of the means to end this departed state, that means once one dies the Shraddha and other things that will not happen. Because of that, Narake Vasa. So that means living in the hell itself endlessly become inevitable. That means Nityam. So it becomes Nityam. Narake, living in Naraka becomes Nitya. Iti, thus Anushishruma. I have heard this from those mouths of teachers and the learned people. I have heard this. It is not something I assume on my own. It is not something I am assuming. This is what I have heard. So again, he says that this is what I have heard from those who have learned, that if Shraddhas and other things are discontinued, this is what's going to happen. So he again saying this is not something I'm just making up. Okay. So even the determination to fight. So again, the one thing to note here again is all this is in the Dwapara, right? So when the Dharma was followed to its letter, at that time these things were happening. And these days, even in Brahmanas, performing Shraddhas is very difficult to. It's becoming uh, uh, it's very difficult, right? So forget about Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and others performing Shraddhas. So performing Shraddhas or intermingling of Varnas, Brahmana, Shudra, or Shudra, Brahmana, or Kshatriya, Kshatriya, Vaishya, we don't exist these days, right? So all this tradition, the Kula Dharmas have already, today's world, most of it is already gone, disappeared. And that's why the result is, as Arjuna says here, is Narake Niyat Nityam. Well, so it's all of us will have to, if Shraddhas and other things, those who don't perform and don't get, they have to stay in the Naraka forever, right? So that's what going to happen. So Arjuna highlights this here, and then he looks at the considering all this. Arjuna says, "Aho bata mahatpatam kartum vyavastita vayam yadrajya sukalobhena hantum swajana madhyata." He kind of says, "What a pity that I have resolved to commit a great sin by being eager to kill our own family." Okay, out of greed for pleasure of the kingdom, and reflecting on all these things, the evil that's going to come as a result of this war, Arjuna thinks, what a pity, what I was planning to do purely because of greed of these things. Aho means alas, and bata means horrible results. Mahat, great, papam, sin, kartum, to perform, vayam, we, again he joins Krishna also in this. Okay, we are going to do this. Vyavastita, have decided. Yet is because Rajya Sukalobhena means driven by the desire of Rajya, kingdom, pleasure, kingly pleasures. Hantum, to kill. Swajanam, our kinsman. Udyataha, intending. So again, it should not be asked that if such be your understanding, then why you have come here with the resolve to wage war? Arjuna is saying, because I have acted arrogantly due to heedlessness. That's what he's trying to say here. He's saying, you should not ask me why you have come here if you think such a thing going to happen. He should say, I acted arrogantly. Okay. Or it may be asked that in spite of your aversion to this battle, surely the slaughter of your friends and relatives will happen because of eagerness of war on both sides. Duryodhana, his people are very eager. Similarly, here Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, they are also very eager for it. So what can be done by you, right? So because of that, Arjuna says in the next shloka, he says, Yadi mam apratikaramasshastram shastrapanayah Dhartarashtra rane hanyus tanme kshemadaram bhavet. If in the battle the sons of Dhritarashtra armed with weapons kill me, who I am non-resistant and unarmed, that will be more beneficial to me. So he again feels pity, saying, alas, what happened, what I was planning to do for greed of kingdom. And then he says, if Duryodhana and others come and try to kill me, that would be beneficial. Even when I'm unarmed, if they kill me, that's more beneficial. So yadi means if, mom means me, apratikaram means unresisting, ashastram means unarmed, shastrapaneha, those who with weapons in hand, who are they? Dhartarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Rane, on this battlefield, Hanyu shall kill, tat, that, may means to me, kshemataram, better, bhavet would be. So it would be so superior even to one's life is righteousness, right? So dharma is better, superior than my life, consisting of dharma is consisting of ahimsa, a non-injury to living beings. That's the superior thing because it results in no sin, and therefore, in comparison with living, death itself, bhavet, will be kshemataram, would be beneficial, extremely good for me. Okay, so death itself, in comparison to this himsa, death itself is better. Again, even if you look at as a reading as the priyataram, which is the meaning becomes same. And he says apratikaram, again, who is non-resistant, who is not going to do anything for saving his own life, and not undertaking any other expiation, even for having merely resolved to kill his friends and relatives. Okay, so again, he's saying that just by mentally thinking myself that I'm going to kill everybody, I have committed sin, and expiation for that is if Duryodhana and others come with the weapons and they kill me, that's the expiation of the sin that's I accumulated just by coming to this battlefield, thinking that I'm going to kill my relatives and everybody, which will result in such a battle would have resulted in such a great evil, just for thinking that I have the sin of whatever a sin I have, that will be destroyed by not taking these arms, the weapons and things like that. That will be expiated by that. So that's what he says, right? So anticipating that a question from Dhritarashtra, hearing all this, okay, that what happened next? Did Arjuna get killed by Duryodhana or others? Did he give up? What happened? Sanjaya says that Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya says, Ev Mukta Arjuna Sankhe Atopasta Upavishat Visrajya Sacharam Chapam Shokasam Vigna Manasaha. So here Sanjaya says, having said so, Arjuna, with a mind afflicted with sorrow, sat down on the chariot in the midst of the battle, casting aside the bow along with the arrows. So Arjuna sat down, and we look at what this means. And also, this is the last shloka on the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll conclude that shloka and this chapter next time when we get.